doing?
Well,
You can unmute yourself, guys, you know?
Doing great.
Doing great? Okay, great. So what we want to talk about today about different things, and let me see. You can see my slideshow, right?
yes, we see it.
Okay. Let me see. Okay, I made the sound a little bit higher. So I hope everybody's doing good and everybody's doing well and everybody's healthy with all of the people that I miss in the office. Thank you for joining this meeting. So you can always unmute yourself to ask any questions you would like to, okay? Hey, I've been seeing a lot more people now. So I say, so we have quite a bit of people. Let me see here. I'm so not good in my computer, but I'll get better. So I want to talk about a lot of things. Please make as many questions or whatever I'm going through the presentation. Let me know if there's anything, any questions you might have, or you might, a scenario that came up and you are confused about, or somebody's telling you something out there that might be, you know, strange to you at this time. So you can run it by me and I'll let you know what's really, I think about it. So that's me. And the next slide, I just want to let you know, we are still really fast on closing all our purchases. So any purchase deals takes over, you know, our pipeline, and we can still close them as fast as possible. We still have like 5 days. If it's in Antelope Valley, I can do 5 days, 6 days in appraisals. So that means from the day the client, signs in their disclosure, it takes about 5 days, 6 days till I receive the appraisal. We are having a lot of innovative technology. We do a lot of right now videos. We are doing emails a lot. We do get in touch with all our realtors through lots of channels. And, you know, I'm just letting you know that we're still as before regards purchases. Refinance is taking a little bit longer, but not that long. It's just we are going and underwriting purchases so that way we're still within 30 days closing. The second one I want to talk about is about forbearance. So whoever has a question, does anyone know someone right now that's going through forbearance or asked you a question about it? I unmute you guys yourself. I want to hear some of you.
I've had a lot of questions about it.
From your past clients, right?
Yes.
And they don't know if they should make the payment or not.
Well, they don't know if they'll even qualify for it because I guess they missed a payment prior to the COVID-19 scenario. So I guess they were told, they got a letter from their bank saying that even though their forbearance is right now, that they're not going to put it to the back end of their loan because they had missed a payment prior.
So they might not be qualified for it. So that's correct. And whoever is going through forbearance and they want to refinance or they want to apply to purchase a house, they're not going to be able to be in position unless they either go back and pay all the missed payments and become current immediately, or that, you know, and then apply for a loan, or they have to make 3 to 4 payments on time. After like 4 months, maybe they can apply for a loan again. Okay, so there is consequences, like I said before, about forbearance. So anybody who calls you and asks you to see if they can miss a payment, ask them to make it. Let them know if they can make it. Let them make it. Otherwise, this relief is going to the people really affected by the COVID-19, people that they left their job, maybe they get the virus and they're out of work, maybe they had death in the family. So it is there for the people they need it. For the people that they can make it, I think they still need to make the payment.
Yeah.
So that's my always answer. Are you going through the issues? If not, just make your payment. I just want to let you know that more people are making their payments as the people going back to work and COVID-19, the cases and people going back to work. So there's about 112,000 homeowners started to make their payments from the week before June 9th. So from the beginning of the month till the now, it's about 112,000 more people are making their payments. So people are going back to make their payments, but it's still a huge number that they're not making it right now. About 8.8% of mortgage holders are in forbearance, which is a big number at this point. This is all because of the act, CARES Act, this is the government, came up with the act so to help people with their tough times in this COVID-19. Okay. Are you with me, guys?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Yes, we are.
Gino's here.
So what's the mortgage companies are doing right now? The mortgage companies are literally walking through a landmine because they don't know which borrower they're gonna take their loan and they're making their payments, and which borrower might go to forbearance after they purchase or refinance. You understand that, guys? So basically, they are trying to do their best to make sure the borrower that is applying for the loan, they are 100% qualified and they have all the intentions to make their monthly payment. So they are being very careful. So that's why they built a lot of guidelines around it to make sure the client is okay. So what they are doing right now, they are verifying if the borrower is employed or not. Are the borrowers still employed or not? Is every borrower has the intention of paying their mortgage? So one of the things that they're talking about when a borrower calls you guys or somebody has the intention to purchase a home and they ask you, can I buy a house and I don't have to make payment after I purchase a house, right? So I want you to be prepared, guys, to say, well, as much as we are doing our job to make sure he's going to make their job, you guys have to let them know that they must make their monthly payment, especially their first payment, especially their first payment. I'll tell you why. So I'm just letting you know that the investors are really doing their job by checking if they're employed, if they have intentions to make their payment. They are verifying their employment throughout the transaction. They are asking the employer if they're still doing bonuses, commissions, overtime. If the employer says, no more overtime, guess what? Even though they worked overtime previously, they're not going to give them overtime. Okay? and they're asking if they are working less hours. And if they say yes, some companies, they are paying the employees for full time, but they might not have them work full time. We cannot give them the full time that they are getting paid on their paycheck. They are gonna give them the hours that they are actually working. You understand that, guys? So furlough employees cannot be in a position to purchase or refi until they get back to work and have at least one paycheck comes in, okay? So we have just closed couple transactions. We stopped the escrow. We didn't stop the escrow, but we had to put everything on hold till the employee goes back to work. And now they got their first paycheck, so we're able to close their transaction. So they can, but they have to go back to work and they get their first paycheck, and we have to have verification of employment or whatever, you know, hours we have to give them on their income. Okay? Is everybody with me?
Yes, we are.
Some noises. I feel like I'm talking by myself. So I want to talk about the equity. I want to update you guys what's going out there on the market right now. What are the people doing with their equity? Okay. And why so many people are refinancing, pulling equity out or refinancing for lower rates. And let me tell you what's going on. There's about 125 million households in the USA. Okay? You're with me, guys? 60.
You're with ya.
Yay!
Yes,
Yourself if there's no noise around you. So I feel like, you know, you're next to me, guys. Otherwise,
We're listening to you, Hadia.
There's
oh,
too much noise around me, so I have to mute myself.
we're
okay.
washing dishes.
You are? Clara's in Washington?
No, I'm in Palm Springs right now.
Oh, good job. Have a good time. So 125 million households in the USA, 64% are owner occupied. Okay, so 64% of 125 million, there are owner occupied. The rest are rented properties, okay? So non-owner. You understand that philosophy? Now 40% of the 40% are the homeowners that they occupy the property and they have no mortgage.
Wow.
Okay.
The rest of the owner occupants, the rest of the 64%, they have about 53% equity or more in their homes.
Yeah.
Good.
So that tells you the market is in a good shape. It tells you like people do have equity. People are not in a stressful position. So what people are doing right now, they're literally pulling their equity out and paying. Majority of my buyers or refinance buyers, they are getting their equity out and paying their debt.
Yeah.
With taking that equity and paying certain amount of debt, their payment almost stayed the same or increased by not much.
Mm-hmm.
So they're still making the same monthly payment. They have no like $1,000 or $1,500 or even $2,000 extra in debt a month. There is a lot of ways to use your money. You can take it and pay, let's say, all that money that you are paying for your debt, monthly debt, you can make extra payments on your mortgage payment. Can you imagine how much sooner you can pay that mortgage? So you are paying $2,000 between your credit card debt and your car payment and all of that stuff, right? Take that money and pay it off your mortgage, monthly mortgage, and see how much you can pay that house with 10 years, 15 years, 12 years. But that's one option, which is some people pull the equity, and some people work a lot with the stock market, and they might use that money so they don't have to liquidate their stocks since the stock market is not doing. So they kind of like, use the money from their equity to get them by, so they don't have to sell their stocks at the lower prices. A lot of people are paying as well, they are literally taking it, and this equity is going to help long time, or on the long run, it's going to prevent a lot of people from being in a hardship. So if some people, they did have a hardship in the future, they have some money on the side to help them out to keep their mortgage payment going.
Right.
Prevent foreclosure. It's going to prevent a lot of what do they call this, short sales, future short sales. So if I have $50,000, $70,000 on the side, and I went into hardship at some point, I have enough money to keep making my payment. So that's how it's helping a lot of homeowners to decrease their debt, keeping almost the same mortgage payment going, or they're taking the money and put it on the side for like in case something happens. A lot of people, they tell me, just we want to keep it on the side in case something happens. Okay.
Okay.
So with the rates being so low as well, you guys, as all you know, who knows how much the rates these days? Do you know?
2.8.
Everybody knows what the rates are like. Everybody's talking about what?
3%.
2.9.
2.75.
2.85, 2.95, 3.35.
Yeah. So we're hearing all those like different rates out there. So I'm going to explain a little bit of the changes on the FHA, which is we talk about all the time, but you want to know a little bit more about it since the COVID-19 guidelines changed, and then they are loosening up a lot of the guidelines. I can tell you right now, 640 is a little bit more open below 640 FICO score. It's just we're still like brokering some of those out, but a lot of investors now, they're doing them. Before, through the COVID-19 at the beginning, I had 2 lenders that was still doing them. Now I find out like more lenders are up to receiving loans below 640. Over 640, we were at a time we cannot do over 50% debt to income ratio. Right now, case by case, we're accepting DTI over 50%. So normal DTI for FHA is about 55, 56%. They stopped it at 50% right now. They are taking case by case government loans over 50%. If they have reserves, if they have like maybe a second job, but I cannot use the income, it's it's like kind of a plus, and they might look into it and approve it and buy it. I just want to let you know it's loosening up, and I take the files carefully. So I look at overall strength of the file, but you don't want somebody who has, put every single penny out. They don't have any money in their accounts. Their DTI is really high, and they don't have any backup, like, where it shows a strength. So they might keep it at 50%. Okay.
Okay.
Jumbo loans is still very difficult to get. They are asking for higher down payment requirements, higher FICO scores. They are asking. We used to have like sometimes 2 months or 6 months requirements, reserve requirements for jumbo loans. Right now it's 12 months. Can you imagine how much more people they have to have money in reserve to buy to be in a jumbo loan right now? Jumbo loan, does anybody knows what a jumbo loan what's the from what loan amount and higher is considered jumbo loan? Can anybody answer that question?
Hello?
Yes.
Hi. I don't know if I'm in the right meeting. This is Janique Bryant, Davion Durio's mom.
Mm-hmm.
Am I in the right meeting?
Probably. Are you trying to get a mortgage information?
No, I thought this was, I was trying to speak with my son.
Oh, I think you're not in the right meeting then.
Okay, I do apologize.
That's okay.
LOL.
So what happened is on jumbo, like I said, it's 765 400. Over that loan amount, it's considered jumbo loan in Los Angeles County.
Does it vary by county?
Yes.
Okay, so it's different in every, okay.
Can you please
So
repeat that
in
amount?
LA County is 765,400. Let's say if we go to Kern County, it's 509, 510. Okay, after that it becomes a jumbo loan. So it's a lot difficult to get a loan for like in Kern County than here because we have higher loan limits. Okay, guys. So if you are doing a loan in a different county, make sure your loan officer understands. And if because it happens like I'm always in LA County, majority of my loans, but now I'm extremely careful. Kern County, Sacramento, whatever that county is, and I have Orange County, so go by county for the loan limits. Okay, guys?
Okay.
So what mortgage rates are below? Yes, they are below 3%. Okay, I just want you to let you know the normal rates are below 3%. What I'm talking about is if you are refinancing, if you are purchasing, different rates for each product. There is investment loans. It's different rate. It's not below 3 if you are an investor. If you are cashing out on investment property, different rate, So I don't want like not one size fits all. But overall, all the rates are lower than before. So at some point we were getting the investment loans almost as close as 5%. These days, 4.1 or 4.2, depends on the FICO score, down payment, and so forth. So it is below 3%, but it's not for every single client. FICO score plays a big role on the people's qualification and FICO score and the rate. Okay. I do say, they always ask me, what do you think the rates is going to happen? I do tell everyone, everybody's entitled to their opinion. My opinion is going to be okay till the rest of the year. Okay. For sure, at the end of the year, it might be okay till the mid of even next year. What does that tell us? The real estate market is going to be so healthy. The future is so good for the real estate market. All the indications, there's shortage of inventory, right?
Right.
So the demand is still higher than the supply. And it's probably going to continue like that. There's a lot of people searching for homes and want to buy homes. Okay. A lot of people right now, they are thinking, taking advantage of the market, pulling cash and purchasing an investment property. In Antelope Valley by itself, there is about between 2,000 to 5,000 new jobs coming into Northrop. Okay, so all those people that are coming to the area, they need housing, they need rentals and so forth. And as you know, the rental value went up quite a bit, right?
Right.
So that tells you like the market is going to be healthy. A lot of people went back to their jobs. Yes, a lot of people lost their jobs, but a lot of other, they are taking a lot more jobs. So they're applying and they're like, getting the, some type of a jobs back. A lot of people, they don't want to go back to work because they are collecting unemployment and they're happy that they don't have to go to work, and even their employers calling them back, they don't want to go back. Right? So I'm just letting you know that we're not in a recession. It's nothing like 2008. 2008 was totally different, guys.
Right.
2008 didn't have the CARES Act that the government is providing right now. So if you are late on your payment, you are in foreclosure within a couple months. So now it's different. I think like the real estate market and the rates, they're gonna stay low, which allows the buyer to buy a lot more when the rates are down. Okay, I'm gonna give you an example as well, so that way, I'm just gonna give you an example that you can explain to your buyers how the rates play a big role in their purchase power. So I put an example. So if you look at the left-hand side of my screen, because you're looking at the screen, 700 FICO, $300,000 purchase price, putting 3.5% down, FHA. The rate right now, majority, I would say about 2.75 on a purchase.
Wow.
If they have, if you have 750 FICO, it might be a little bit higher, but 760, you're okay. Your approximate payment, PITI, about 1798. Now, if you look at the right side, if the rate changes and it goes up to 3.5%, their payment goes up to 918.50. So if you deduct it 1918 from 1798, guys, it's like how much? If you want to do the math. Whoever answers first, I'm gonna send a Starbucks.
120. 120. 120.
$120 more just by if the rates goes higher.
Yep.
You understand how much purchase power it's going to give the buyer by taking advantage of the low rates.
Right.
So what happened is a lot of people that I've been talking to, I'm telling them, even if you have a 3.5% interest rate, it's good to look into it and see what you can get and how much savings, especially if you bought a house in the last couple of years. And some of them, they're already in forbearance. Now they want to go back on track. They want to start making their payment, and it's going to take them a while to be able to refinance. So they're going to miss whatever months that they, some people, they're like, I have the money. I'm going to go ahead and call my lender tomorrow, make the full payments, everything that I owe, and to catch up, and I want to refinance. Okay? So I'm just giving you this example just to show your clients how much the interest rate could make a difference in their payment. So everybody, you can imagine, we're so busy with purchases. Thank you for all the people out there that keep calling me and believing in us and giving us their business. But at the same time, like purchases is very strong as well. I know that I qualify people every day. It's just tough time to find a property too fast, you know? So it's like, you know, they have to put offers to, so listing is really good right now. It will sell fast, right?
Right.
So I am, you have this example, and I'm gonna be going into what does when there's crisis hit and the economy is bad. So what happens to, you know, what the unemployment, COVID-19, the pandemic, all of that tragedies, by the way, it affects the interest rates. So this is the general rule. Rates are mainly driven by economy. Good news leads to higher rates. Bad news leads to lower rates. And that's why we have a lot good rates these days, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
So that's a general rule regarding the rates. Good economy, higher rates. Bad news, it leads to lower rates. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit fast about, we did develop an app that is customized to Mortgage Express, but at the same time, you can take advantage of it if when you're working with buyers, that will help you reduce the amount of calls and finding out where your client is at, or like, oh my gosh, you know, you know, you cannot catch a loan officer to take a loan application, right? And there is different times, the buyer's busy, the lender's busy. So I just want to talk a little bit about it. I'm not going to take too much out of your time. I have been sending it to the realtors that they've been talking to me, but if I didn't, please let me know. I can send it as a link. This app receives by you. You guys download it and share it with any client you have. They can fill out a loan application online. They can get pre-approval online. The minute they finish, and it lets them know if they finish everything the way it's supposed to be, it lets them know actually if they're qualified or not. But we're not gonna depend on that. We're gonna go and call them, because the minute your buyer uses the app, you are alerted every single step of the way. And when I change information on their loan application in my system, you're gonna get alerted, they're gonna get alerted. Like the other day, I was like doing something on one of my clients, and he called me, it's like, why my loan amount changed to 200,000? I thought I'm approved for 400. So that's how cool is the app. What happened is that it's co-branded. So the minute, let's say I send it to Lori, Lori shares it with one of her borrowers, they can fill out a loan application. They actually gives them a list of documents that they need for their loan. And it has a built-in scanner. So what happened is that anybody can upload it, upload the app, sign up, create their account, and scan all their documents. It will let you know that Mr. So-and-so just uploaded a document.
Cool.
It's all secured. A lot of people, they are afraid to email, or they have their own email for someone. So it gives them a sense of security, which is, I like it more. The scanner is so good that it will switch each document to PDF and uploads it. So I don't have to have changed those documents to fit it or anything like that. Okay.
All right.
They can as well have a calculator, which is, it helps the other day, I mean, Mary, she had a client and I shared the app with her and she did, the second thing is like, I just want to make sure, is this correct? So she changed, the loan amount, whatever, and it gave her, it was exactly what it shows on my end as well.
Yeah,
So
I probably would have had to do it 3 or 4 times to figure out her loan amount, et cetera, but it worked well. I loved it.
Yeah, so she didn't call me back.
That is true.
Yeah, it keeps the information in one place, and it has the thing where you can text between you and your, and it stays all in one if you wish. It stays in their app. So basically, anytime, you don't have to go and say, oh, what did he say? It's all with your client. That chat could be just with your client on and you can see your clients all the time. I love it because right now I don't have to have like, please, can you send me your documents again? I cannot read it. It's fuzzy. It's not cropped correctly, whatever. So it has that. You can upload the docs, scan them, and you're good to go. All the tips that to track the phone that the clients is on your app. So I always like it. Since we started it, it's been amazing. Now, with everything is happening right now, with things going back to normal, they're easing the guidelines little by little. So I'm hoping everything goes back to normal, but not yet. Commercial loans, almost very, very hard to get a commercial loan. The other thing is people are asking me for credit line of equity. I'm sure, some of you have been asked about equity line of credit, a lot of banks, and, that source almost gone. What else? Other non-QM, which is non-qualifying mortgages, like the bank statements, the stated income, all of those that I didn't believe much in, they're all gone. Okay, or specialty programs, they are now, all the investors are not financing them. The real estate market is going to be hot. It's going to be hot. If a lot of home buyers, they were like put on hold thinking it's going to get the rates, the housing market is going to go down. It's not going to go down. I just want to let you know, it doesn't look like it anytime soon. What else I want to share with you? So before the corona, I always tell them, is it before the corona was just a beer? So after the corona, it's not just a beer, it's one thing. And corona used to be a beer before that. Now it's not a beer. So is it before corona became a beer or after? Corona is not just a beer. So you guys, if you have buyers, let them know that rates, supply and demand, make sure that you enlighten them of what the future is going to look like. Sellers market, of course, a lot of people are taking advantage and want to sell, at top value. Right now, they are getting a top value for their homes as well. So I wanted to talk to you guys. There's Andres, Harry, Monica, Teresa, Nick, Lori, Mary. So how's everybody doing, and what questions do you have for me?
I want to know when you're going to have a class just on your app.
What did you say, Mary?
I said, I want to know when you're going to have a class just on your app.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a class where I'm gonna be sending all you guys a link.
Uh-huh.
The minute you, I'm gonna text it, or I don't know, but it's so easy to use to a point. Even the client, it shows them how many steps to the final step where they can get the key. So, oh, you know what? You have processing. The minute it goes to processing, it goes down and it says processing is gone. So all these steps is still missing. Oh, you know, so the client is not literally confused whatsoever. I have, the realtors are enjoying it as well because I can see them all the time looking at it and then sharing it all the time with their clients, which is giving them the control over, like, oh, you know what, Sylvia did you use the app? Let me call her. I guess she is interested again to purchase a home, because the minute she opens the app, maybe she's using the calculator, or she using, like, some people, they finish the application and they stop and it tells me like, oh, there's a few steps not done yet. So we call them and like, oh no, I didn't have enough time to finish it. I'm gonna finish it tomorrow. It really gives you a lot of that, you know what, chasing. This is, you know, oh, are you purchasing? Are you this? Are you, what's the zip code? Like, it completes it with about 10 to 15 questions instead of you guys chasing them to connect with a lender. So I'm gonna do a class maybe in about a week or two, and I'm gonna be sending a link to show you step by step how to download it, set up an account, and what's in there, how, you know, it's just very simple. That's why it's self-explanatory how the app works. But
Yeah,
it's having a challenge at this time with the COVID-19 guidelines, or qualifying someone, or showing a house right now.
What was your question, honey?
So what happened is, right now, if you have a buyer, you cannot show the property without actually a pre-qual letter. Are you having that problem, guys? Or, like, you know, you gotta send a pre-qual letter for the listing agent to be able to.
Are you talking about the PED? Are you talking about the PED?
About the pre-qual letter to show a house.
Pre-approval.
Pre-approval letter.
I don't think I've had that issue. I've had more people, like, I'll send out the PED to them, you know, the saying that they haven't been sick or anything, and then I don't get a response back. So I think my difficulty showing properties lately is not about the pre-qual letter, because I usually already have that before I'm showing them properties. It's about actually getting the agents to respond back once you have their PED signed by everybody.
I've been getting a lot of calls to get a pre-qual, to get sometimes the assets to the listing agent before they allow the buyer's agent to show the property. So right now, more than ever, you know, buyers, they want to talk to a lender, and, you know, sometimes even in the middle of the qualification, I mean, I can tell the client is more than perfect. So I send a pre-qual just to get them to see and review a property. But right now, everybody wants a pre-qualification letter to allow the the borrower to preview a property. Is that correct, everyone?
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
But they should
hopefully,
have that before they take them out.
Yeah, you should already have that.
Well, I've seen in the MLS remarks for the agent that sometimes they specify no pre-qual, but pre-approval. Otherwise, they won't even answer.
Right.
so we're trying to send, I mean, DU approval with every pre-qual or pre-qualification or pre-approval letter, whatever you want to call it. So the DU approval tells you, like, you know, they have been actually, there's an accept eligible on their approval. So that gives them a lot of confidence of the buyer,
Right.
right?
Right.
That's the preferred way. That way, they consider that the only thing that's left is the appraisal and the inspection.
Yeah, well, we need a pre-qual, we need escrow paperwork, we need a prelim, we need CPL, we need wiring instructions, and from that point on, it's literally updating the documents. That's it. So yes, it's true. So, but we need an escrow open, and certain things has to come in from the escrow company before we get to the disclosure stage. And from the disclosure, after the borrower signs disclosure, we end up ordering the appraisal. So with this time, a lot of listing agents, they are removing contingencies sooner than, you know, what the purchase contract specifies, guys. So the purchase contract, what is it, 21 days?
Yes.
So yeah, I've been seeing, I mean, 15, 16 days. So, which is fine. I mean, you know, unless something has to change in the buyer's qualification, lose their job, or somebody's off work because of the virus. I have that situation with one of my buyers where they got the virus in the middle of the transaction. So we had to wait for them to get back to work and get a paycheck. But that's some of the scenarios that we might go through qualifying someone or closing a transaction. Anybody has like a question that they're going through, or any question?
Will Carol be in the office
I
later?
don't,
Carol is in the office. She's expecting you.
All right, I'll be there soon.
Okay. Carol is in the office. Actually, today she said, I'm going to meet up with Mary with one of her clients. And as I put, like, you guys, I have, we have different Mortgage Express teams in different areas and branches. I have Julio, Rick, Angie, and David. Summer is an assistant to me, but the rest of them, they are loan officers. They are all very well experienced, and they can come through every single time. So if you have any questions, this is like my team, but they're spread. I have Julio and Angie and Ish in Long Beach area, and I have Rick in Palos Verdes area. So they are covering a lot of loans down there. But if you have any questions about what can happen and what not, it doesn't have, whoever is doing the loan, it doesn't matter. I'm here to help you guys go through the loan, close your escrow, and make sure the buyer is served well or the seller is served well. So if you have any questions, let us know. What do you think, guys, is gonna happen? What, you know, in your own opinion, if anybody has to, what kind of, you know, news you are listening to as far as where the real estate market's going?
I see it definitely becoming a seller's market.
It's a good market.
Yeah, it's definitely becoming a seller's market. There's not a lot of listings on, and the listings that are on, they are selling pretty fast. People think that that they're having trouble showings or things like that, but they're flying off the market as soon as they hit. I see the average days on the market going down a lot, and that means that if there's less people seeing your house and they're flying off the market faster, then you have more serious buyers looking at them when they are looking at them. There's
Right.
not any more looky-loos. There's not, I mean, we're not having open houses anymore, so it's not like the buyers that are on the market, they're serious buyers.
So do you know, I mean, I don't know, but what happened is with the CARES Act, you're not, you know, tenants cannot leave the property within COVID-19 and what we're going through. You know that, right? You cannot, you know, you cannot evict a tenant. Is that correct?
That's what I understand.
So what happened? What happened to all the sellers that they already gave notices to their tenants to leave the property so they can sell it? Right now, what happened? They cannot.
I feel like they're frozen. They're frozen.
Nothing's
And
happening.
they may or may not be accepting rent even. That's the truth of the matter, is you don't even know if they're paying rent anymore to these sellers that are like stuck.
That's one of the reasons, because I probably talked to so many buyers that they are renting and they got like, they have to move because the seller gave them a notice that they want to sell the property, and the COVID-19 came in and then nobody's able to sell the property anymore. All those sellers, they are renting their properties, they're on hold right now. So that's why there is as well shortage in the inventory. Got it?
Yeah, and there's some tenants that tell the landlords that if they want them to leave, they want some cash for keys. Not very many, but they're doing that.
I mean, I could see where that could be going because they know that they have their landlords kind of by the, do you know what I mean? I mean, the truth of the matter is if you've got to get a tenant out and the deal is going through, are you more liable to pay them to get out? Or, I mean, when push comes to shove,
Yeah,
I'll pay 'em.
particularly if you want to sell the property.
I mean,
So the shortage of inventory, in my opinion, it comes in different ways. So every avenue is contributing to the shortage. So you do have the investors or the homeowners that they're renting, they are having a hard time moving their, evicting their tenants. That's one, right?
yeah.
The second thing, you have the sellers that they're afraid to be infected by the amount of people coming and looking at the property. So right now you have sellers that they're afraid to sell. Is that correct?
Yes.
Sellers that are afraid to have too many people in their home at one time. Yeah.
So you have
And
the
then-
sellers that they want to leave the state and relocate to different states, and everything is on hold. So it's hard for them to make those arrangements as well. So that's on hold too. So all of this makes the market short of inventory.
Yes.
So when COVID, it all depends when we're gonna find the cure. It depends, you know, when people are gonna be free from the fear of the virus to go on with their lives, and you're gonna see a lot of homes gonna come in on the market for sale. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
The other thing is, I've been hearing it from my buyers. They want to get it into a house because now their companies move them to work from their homes. So they want to have a little bit more space,
Very true.
right? They want to. So all of this, it makes their shortage in the market. So it's not just like, oh, there's no listings, not because it's a different market, because the fear of moving and relocating, it's the fear from people coming and view the property. It's like the investors or homeowners that they cannot evict their tenants anymore. You know, all of this and more and more and more, people, they don't want to make move when everything is shut down out there. Right?
Yeah.
But
The
if
ones who are going to sell are the ones that are going to move to another state, and they may even drop the price just to get.
some are actually, they just want to get out of California. I have been hearing it a lot from a lot of homeowners. They want to do so.
Yeah, that is very true.
So there's many reasons for the shortage of the real estate market. I have a buyer that she's in LA for a job. She lives in one little bedroom apartment with her boyfriend. And now they want her to work from home. There's no place for her to work from home. It's very tiny apartment. So what does she want to do? She wants to purchase a house to have the office, you know? So there's many reasons for people to do certain things. But at the end of the day, the shortage comes in from the shutdown. Do I want to move? Let's say I'm selling my house. Do I want to move myself in the middle of like wherever, you know, the TV is telling you how many cases and how many deaths and what's going on out there? You just want to stay put, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I think is happening. So as people are more comfortable making decisions and moving, I think the real estate market is going to be a lot sellers, a lot more inventory. The prices might not be as bad as right now, but it will stay good for a while right now. So any questions for anyone? Anybody who has a question for me?
We'll probably think about them after the meeting. We'll get hold of you.
I'm always on my phone. I've been going to the office a couple days a week, and then I am like working a couple days from the house right now because there's not many people in the office. But as people coming in, and I see more people in the office, I'm gonna be driving probably like 3 to 4 days for sure. Gino, are you there? Some people, they are on hold.
Hey,
Monica.
Hadia, I'm here. I just have it on mute.
So do you have any questions? I want everybody to welcome Gino. He is new to KW.
Hi, everyone.
No.
So I'm gonna have you meet all those people when we go back to the office, Gino. Gino is in the office for sure. So when I go to the office, he's there.
Yeah, I'm in and out, but for the most part, I do come to the office.
Yes.
Mhm.
And did anybody has a question? Did you feel like this is information at least you can take to your consumer, to the consumer, and share it with them regarding the rates, what they could do and what they cannot do, how they can take advantage of the low rate at this time? Sellers are good to go as well. It's one of the best times for sellers market as well. So if you're a buyer, you're taking good advantage of the low rate. If you are a seller, it's an amazing time because right now, you know, you can have multiple offers on the property.
Well, the information you're giving is very informative. And once again, I want to thank you for your time. And I listened to everyone else's questions, and it kind of answers what I want. So I don't say much.
Anytime, you guys, you can count on us to answer any question you might have. And that's what we're here for. Anybody can ask any question. It doesn't have to be in mortgage as well. I mean, if you have any real estate questions and you're confused, what could be, the answer, let me know. I'm
Okay.
always on my phone. Hello, Lance, Harry.
Thank you, Hadia. You're awesome.
Thank you, guys. It's
Hello, Heidi.
Thank you,
Have a
Hadia. Thank
great
you.
day.
Thank you very
call
much.
me if you have any questions. Call me.
Okay, will do.
Okay.
We will do.
Will do.
Yes, appreciate the
Thank you,
presentation.
Hadia.
Thank you.
Virtual hug to all of you.
Hey, hi, Heidi.
Virtual hug to all of you. I swear, I miss it. I miss hugging.
Heidi.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.